do this. So I took out one of the figures from the paper, and let me show you how I would make it, give it a little makeover here. All right, so when you stretch it, you're going to grab the corner and hold shift so it doesn't change proportions. That's nice. And then what's important on this gel is not is basically the data. So some people will chop it down to just this area, and as long as you have a couple of ladder bars on there, or at least little arrows that show where the ladder bars should be, and you can see your band, and that's probably all right. But in the interest of full disclosure, let's do this properly and show the whole thing. So we're gonna go up here and let's see. I'm going to click the picture, open picture format. So I'm in regular old PowerPoint. And online PowerPoint works the same. All right, we're gonna get our crop tool and crop the heck out of this. We're gonna crop that ladder off, I think, at the end. Either that or we'll just put labels beside it. I think that's fine. So even this top bar, top rung on the ladder, we can keep it, but it's not really showing anything because there's no more proteins up there. And then let's get up to the bottom. Okay, and that's our lowest protein. So we're not losing any data. We're just losing the stuff that we don't care about. Okay, and so now let's make that a little bigger again, just so we can see what's going on. That's looking more beautiful. Now, the other thing you're allowed to do is brightness contrast. And so let's just go for that. No, let's go maybe to that. Yeah, that's better. Look at that. It's so much cleaner. You want to get the back fairly close to white because it's the dark protein bands. It doesn't really matter that you have a big background there. You just don't want to change it in a way that changes what it shows, basically. But you can make it clearer. You just can't like change the data. I've reviewed papers where people try to chop out a band and paste it over where a band should have been but wasn't. And yeah, that's some garbage, let me tell you. Okay, so let's go back to our little home. All right, now we've got this. It's looking beautiful. Let's get some little text boxes. And I have no idea what size your ladder is, but we'll pretend that the bottom is going to be 10. And then the next one's going to be, 14. And then we'll make that 20 and 22 or whatever. And so let's just fill in some numbers. 25. Give me that next one. And then let's get these and align them all. Let's see, we'll align the right sides. That looks good. And then we'll get them into the right spot. So, okay, so there we go. There's our 10. And it's looking good. Let's get our others down here. There we go. 14. Push 20 up a little. Push 22 and 25 down a little. Etc. And you can fill in all the rest of the numbers. And then at the top, we can just put something like kilodaltons. And we can get that and all these numbers down here, and we can align them again. We'll align the middle this time. There we go. Just because it looks that much prettier. Okay, actually, let's push this up. And then on top of these things, so you can put in, so for example, an M for your marker or an L for your ladder, whatever you like. Let's get that centered, looking good. And then you want, instead of just numbering the lanes, I would say it's better usually, because if you number the lanes, then somebody's got to keep looking down in the bottom of the legend and then back up the lane to try and figure out, what it is. So if this is, pre-induction, this is post-induction of your gene. Yeah, again, if I read it more carefully and thoroughly, I'd be able to answer this for myself. But I'm trying to go fast here. So let's see. So pre and post. Oops. Post. Come here. Okay, and we'll get those guys, get those centered, and that's still a little wonky, but that's okay. We're going to get it over here, And then we can label them actually. So it looks like you've got duplicates of whatever whatever it is we're doing here. It looks like that's your protein that you're either expressing or purifying to some extent. So 1 and 2, there we go. And then we'll keep having the same 1 and 2. 1 and 2 will just be replicates for each one of these. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Okay. And pre and post. All right. So let's get those guys down. And I think, like I was saying in one of the comments, you want to leave as little empty white space or unused space as possible. If you look at something like a nature paper, that is what they're trying to do. They're going for maximum data density. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to just tidy it up. So let's arrange all these the same top. That'll be good. And arrange all of these guys so that they're in a line, so I can see they're a little tiny bit off. And these things annoy, fussy people. Okay, those are not bad. And if we wanted extra super points, I guess we could distribute them. Why not? Okay, so let's get from here to here, and let's center them first, and then arrange and distribute horizontally. There we go. Now they're perfectly distributed. And if you need to, so if it's not clear that pre and post refer to these two things, then you put a little line to kind of join them together, or you can put a little box there. Boop. And that's an ugly color. We want that to be just medium gray like that. Or maybe a little darker, I don't know, but maybe a little heavier as well. There we go. Let's kick it up to 1.5 point. Yeah, so that's looking better. And then over on, so this will be the size column. This will be the what lane we've got where, and we can move those guys down a little bit now because they're nice and clear. Okay, and so we'll put more of these lines out. Copy, paste, paste, paste. And we'll get the last one over here, and we'll get 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if we just arrange them all so that they're at the top, align top, and then we distribute them all so that they're horizontally distributed, boop, and then they pop into place. There we go, that's nice. Then over on this side, I like triangles to point at the band. And so I'll put a little triangle, something like that, but I don't like that shape. I like it to be more that shape, but smaller. So let's just zoom in and rotate this. There we go. And, oh, so that's so pretty. And we can make it either white with a black outline if you need 2 bands, but if you only got 1 band in there, I generally just go for black because it stands out. And then you put on the name of your protein, or so this is your whatever. I forget what it's called. I'm going to put NMDA, which is totally not what it is. On there, and then you got yourself a beautiful, very tight little figure. There is a little bit of extra white space over here the way I've done it. I don't know, I might try and think of a better way to do that, but this is not bad. You can get away with this on a pretty high-end journal, I would say. And so you want to do something like that for each of your figures. And so then let's group that up. That's great. And so we can paste that back in or whatever. And then Figure Legend always has a very specific format. And so this is going to be figure, I don't know what it is. We'll pretend it's figure 1. I know it's not. Okay, so it's figure 1. And then it's going to have the title. And so this will be expression of the, whatever gene. Or whatever gene expression. There we go. And expression of whatever. That's better. And so the first sentence is going to not be a sentence grammatically usually. It's going to be more like a title. And then that's fine. We'll make that a placeholder. The figure and the first sentence get to be bold usually. And then you say E. coli. This is not going to be bold. So, no. Oh, yeah, actually, yes. And this, yes, yes. Pre or. So you're going to explain what every symbol and naming convention means on this thing that's not already somewhere else in the paper. So induced or uninduced. Here we go. E. coli induced, so post or uninduced. Pre with arabinose or whatever the heck you're doing. Yeah, I'm assuming this is an arabinose inducible expression system. I'm sure it's not. Whatever your details are, yeah, your mileage will vary. Whatever. Let's see. And then you want to say how many hours. So 24 hours after. Actually, E. coli protein expression 24 hours after induction, post, or uninduced pre. Yeah, because you're already going to explain what the difference is between these things in the materials and methods, so that's going to be fine. And then, let's see, molecular weight ladder, and it'll be the whatever, Vitrogen, whatever, PS4, sure. PlayStation 4, molecular weight ladder, whatever it is they call it. And then you put an M because that tells you what the M stands for. And then is shown at left with sizes in kilodaltons, which is probably a little redundant, but better to be redundant than not have enough there. So first the figure in bold, like figure something full stop in bold, then your super short title that does not have to be grammatical in bold and full stop, and then you explain every last little thing on here, and then let's see, and the size of the whatever, or the expected size of MDA is indicated with a black triangle. The idea is that a figure ought to be readable without the rest of the text there. You should be able to look at the figure legend, understand that, and you shouldn't even have to look at the results section. This is how old and grumpy people tend to look at papers and review them. And so if they have trouble and they have to unpack this stuff, then that's what they would do. So fine, I'll send you this thing. This is, I don't know, kind of trashy and totally irrelevant to exactly what you're trying to do. But the style's there anyway. So yeah, I hope that helps.